Good morning everyone, SBG Active Aussie here, Monday morning. It's about 9:40 AM. I think it's a public holiday here in Brisbane, the King's birthday. So it's fairly quiet around the place, and I hadn't really planned on making a video today, but I've been thinking about a few things, so I thought I'd just come over here to this fairly quiet part of the forest and make a video. I've just watched a new video by Ohio Dan, and it's a response video to Shoe on Head, and I remember that Dan mentioned a little while back that he was going to do that. It's quite a long video, about half an hour or maybe a bit more, but he's raised some very good points, and I encourage you guys to watch that if you can. I particularly agreed with one point he made, and that is that these gals like Shoe on Head or Pearl, and there are quite a few others, as you know, when they make content about in regard to men's issues, they get a lot of views, a lot of likes, and a lot of subscribers. And when men make similar types of videos, they don't. So this is one reason why I've pointed out before, I feel that the so-called manosphere now it has become very, very gyno-centric. And I feel that there are a lot of men who claim to be red-pilled, but they're actually very blue-pilled, and types of simps in many cases. Like Dan pointed out, you have someone like Better Bachelor, who obviously has a large following, but most of the men now who are making content have very small channels in comparison to the female channels, the women's channels. And just another thing I want to point out, I've watched quite a few different videos lately, and when I read the comments, you have some men saying, oh, men and women just have to learn to get on and work with each other and help each other, and not every woman's going to divorce you, divorce rape you, or accuse you of being a rapist, etc., etc., blah, blah, blah. But what annoys me is that a lot of people just ignore the legal aspects, the legal risks in regard to marriage or cohabitation, long-term relationships with women. So for most women there is fairly little risk, but for men there is a huge amount of risk. And until there are changes made to the legal system, which needs to be totally overhauled, most men are not going to marry in the future if marriage continues to be just a one-sided and biased type of contract. And in some countries like China, for example, and I'm not trying to toot China's horn, China has many, many problems, obviously, but they did overhaul the divorce laws quite a few years ago to give a lot more legal protection to men, because Chinese women were just cleaning men out too, and especially foreigners who were living in China and they were married to Chinese women. So now Chinese women can only keep any assets, financial assets, that they actually bring into the relationship. So they can't collect a bunch of prizes, cash and prizes, when they divorce. And I feel this is what needs to happen in regard to the marriage laws and divorce here in Australia and other Western countries like USA, Canada, UK, wherever. And also, women need to be held equally responsible in regard to child support payments. And I've heard women before say that, oh, marriage must be a legal contract to protect the rights of the children. And I actually agree with that, but not, once again, if only men have the responsibility to take care of the kids in a financial sense, a financial sort of way. So until the marriage laws are changed and the divorce laws are changed, men are not going to want to get married. So at the moment, any woman can say, yeah, I'm a good woman, you can trust me, but you only have her word in regard to that. And that is the major problem. Men do not have legal protection, and certain guys will say, well, just get a prenup. They get thrown out of court on a regular basis, especially here in Australia, since 2017, and also in certain states in the United States, in the USA. So I think a lot of these people who just make generalized statements like, oh, men and women just have to work together and help each other out, it's just not realistic at all. These people are quite delusional, I feel. And just in regard to response videos, I've said before that I don't like them, but when I say I'm anti-response video, I mean these types of response videos to 304 TikTok type women, not a response video like what Dan has just made, or some guys will make a response video after a woman got a lenient sentence for a certain crime. I've got no problem with those types of response videos. I think that when women get let off the hook, we have to call that out. So just to clarify, I don't really have any sort of problem with that. I'm just here at the edge of the forest. It's very quiet. When I first came in, I saw a very large lace monitor just down near the road, and when it saw me and heard me walking and crunching on the gravel here, it scurried off. But would have been a really good video if I could have taken a bit of footage of that. But that's the problem. Often I see these big lizards in here on the trees, but then they scurry off and go to the opposite side, or they go up higher and I can't get any good footage of them. Anyway, gents, I just wanted to talk about a few things. As usual, leave a few comments. This is just another unscripted video, and just thought I'd talk about what's been on my mind. And like I've said before, this is just a sort of boutique channel. It's fairly small, and I just want to express a few ideas and try and give some useful advice to the younger guys out there. I didn't create this channel to be popular or to get attention, but I feel quite a lot of people who have the large channels, even though some of them put out some good content, they still like the attention, they like the money. I just make videos to try and help men out, and like I've said before, I don't need the money. I'm not rich, but I'm fairly well off financially and I don't need to work, so I just do this channel because I like to make the videos, and I'm trying to help out some guys out there in society now in 2023. Anyway, gentlemen, as usual, I hope you'll leave a few comments. Tell me what you think about these women making videos in regard to men's issues, and I'll talk to you later. Cheers.